While the Inferno got hot, the Celtics also turned it up on the defensive end, particularly in the fourth quarter in this win over the Heat. 119-114 was the final. I mean, holding the Heat to 21 points. Joe likes to keep him under 25. 21 points in the fourth, 7 for 22 shooting from the floor, and forced 3 turnovers. Eddie, it was impressive.
It was definitely impressive. I thought their activity was amazing. The way that they were out there defensively, it was bodies all over the place. If it was diving for loose balls, if it was blocking shots, if it was multiple bodies when somebody was trying to get to the basket. And to me, that's what I was looking at, is our energy shifted right there. And here it is right here. Look at this. Look at everybody just get, and you got 2 guys on the ground right there. Loose ball right there. Hauser giving up his body right there. Block shot. And then here's another one. Look at all the bodies around the ball right there. Like, to me, another one. You can see everybody's around, everybody's engaged, and I think that's what changed the game.
So that Powell block on Powell by Derek White gave me flashbacks to Marcus Smart with the pinning Powell back in the bubble. And kind of igniting that series. But,
when
you know,
he was with the Raptors then, right?
Yeah, exactly. But this is what Derek White does, right? Like, Derek's having the quietest night possible, can't get it really going on either end. And then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, comes up with that block, goes down the other side, keeps the play alive, gets a bucket in a crucial situation. I love the way that guys kind of stuck with it. Powell was getting to the rim whenever he wanted throughout the first half. And all of a sudden the Celtics just tightened up a little bit. And everybody crashing. Goes back to, it feels a bit infectious when guys are bringing energy and Garza's out there hustling.
That's what I was going to say. Playing Garza in crunch time.
You put Garza and Uzo on the floor, all of a sudden, like, the intensity goes up 3 levels. And so I
Joe
love
had
the
to
way.
call timeout. Garza was like exhausted.
But he's always exhausted.
He was giving it all.
They took a timeout after he played like a minute 44, and he was gassed. And I was like, he just plays that hard. And again, that it elevates everybody. Rising tides elevates all boats. I don't know what that saying is. But all I know is that when Garza is sweating, it raises everybody up another level. It's like a tide.
Exactly.
Right?
Luka Garza is your tide in Miami in the ocean. Well, all right, that's what Forsberg has to say.
We'll work on
Let's
that
find out what Joe Mazzulla has to say. The coach's press conference is presented by Amica Insurance, the exclusive auto, home, and life insurance partner of the Boston Celtics. Here's Joe.
Coach, what'd you think of Anfernee's performance off the bench tonight, and how'd you feed that hot hand while, obviously having the other guys integrated?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was great. And the scoring is what he's done most of his career, but to me, it's just the way he defended. He had a blindside block, had a couple in traffic rebounds, was physical at the point of attack, just a complete game. Credit to him, credit to his teammates, kind of creating that environment for him to be able to do it. But, he obviously kept us in it in the first half, and then I think, helped us pull away there a little bit at the end. But it's made winning basketball plays for most of the game.
Joe, it seemed like their physicality and their switching, especially off the ball, was disrupting the offense. What do you see as the keys to be able to fight through that, stay within striking distance, and then ultimately make the rally for the win?
Yeah, they didn't switch off ball. Their on-ball switching was much more physical than the first time that we played them. And so I thought towards the end of the first half there, we kind of just went to some off-ball stuff to kind of loosen them up. And then at halftime, we kind of saw that. But, we just changed the attack a little bit. They went to some different lineups. I thought we were more physical in our screening. We created more separation in our screening in the second half. And when you play a team like that, that's what it just comes down to, is the ability to who could be physical as far as creating the most separation to get to the screen first and create some indecision. So I thought we were much better at that in the second half.
Joe, you talk a lot about how Sam Hauser is much more than just a shooter. He had a lot of, I feel like he had a lot of plays in this game that tip in both halves, I believe. What can you say about just his evolution as a player? And is this was this kind of performance kind of what you've been alluding to a lot of times when he's in a shooting slump? Like, this is the kind of all-around game that he has?
Yeah, I mean, that transition defensive steal on Powell is the second tendency that he took away in transition. Did it to RJ Barrett the other night in Toronto, did it here against there. And so, to me, he knows players' tendencies, can take them away in real time. He's physical, much more physical than people think. And he's versatile. I mean, we had him on point guard tonight. We had him on the 5. He's just, more than obviously a shooter, but again, another complete guy that takes pride in his defense.
Coach, it's one thing for a starter to go off for 37 points and even a former starter in Portland, but to be able to embrace his role off the bench, how would you describe Anfernee's level of mentality and readiness for those moments?
Yeah, I mean, it's just professionalism. Like I said, from day one, we're very upfront about what his role was going to be. And, we've had guys in the past, play this role, that play that 6-6 slot and kind of be instant offense and be able to play. I think he's taken it to another level with his defense, but just very clear understanding of what we needed from him. And it was, for him, it was a clear professionalism too. I just want to get better. I want to help win, and I want to impact winning. And so he's impacted winning for us on both ends of the floor. Tonight, the glaring thing is his offense, but to me, his physicality and his defensive and his coachability, it's just top notch. So it's a credit to him.
You sort of mentioned in the first question about how the scoring was awesome, but the defense was really lifted him up in this game. Is there something about the defense or anything about the way the game set up that sort of allowed him to get as hot as he did and lead the offense? Does one lead to the other and lead to this type of scoring performance? How do those sort of?
No, I mean, I think he just played well. He just played really, really well. I think he obviously saw a couple go in early. I think it's hard for him because of his role, but at times I think he felt the fact that he was keeping us in it, and I think that gave him more confidence. I think his teammates gave him more confidence, and I think in that way the game is connected. Both, a good block could lead to a layup, a good layup could lead to you to play, defense. But he's played two-way basketball for us throughout the year, and this is obviously the best version of him.
Joe, you guys are kind of still finding your way a little bit in that first half. How'd you feel kind of the commitment to crashing and kind of second chance points kept you around, and then even to close it out, a couple of those.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they're number one in transition rates, so they get out fast and get shots early in the shot clock, which you're not going to be able to control sometimes. So I thought the first quarter was the best version of their transition offense. We also had 9 turnovers in the first half and 4 live ball turnovers in the first quarter that led to 8 points. And so I think it was just weathering that storm, from that. But to your point, we weathered it with our offensive rebounds. We ended up with 18. I think we had 10 in the first half. Jordan, Baylor, Sam, Derek, all those guys did a great job crashing. Luka, those gives you extra possessions, but those manage the runs. When you're not playing the way that you need to, those things, it manages those runs and it kind of keeps you in it. And I thought those were huge offensive rebounds in the first half from those guys.
Joe, what went into Jaylen sitting the final 7 minutes of the second quarter and obviously looked like 5 turnovers, shooting struggles tonight? What did you see from him out there in this one?
What led to me is more of a focus on how well Ant played in the second quarter and how he kind of kept us in it.
Last one. Tonight, Jordan came in because Keita had foul trouble, and it was Luka and Jordan really playing some front court minutes. What's it like having a guy like Jordan have 8 rebounds in 20 minutes?
Yeah, Jordan's versatility goes unnoticed a little bit. He's another guy. He guarded Adebayo the last 2 times we've played them. He's a guy that does a great job getting in traffic rebounds, especially on the defensive end. And then, like you said, offensively, he had 4 offensive rebounds. I don't know how many were in the second half, but in the first half, he kind of kept us in it with some of his driving attacks and closeouts and his offensive rebounds. So he's just a physical guy that is really versatile on both ends. Could guard the 5 and guard the point guard. And, I really liked his presence tonight. Thank you, Joe. Thanks.
How about this first presence? Time now for the dunk and dunk of the game. It is all about the dunk. Jordan Walsh.
Michael Jordan Walsh.
Oh, gets Jovic off balance. Anfernee Simons on the assist, the drive, and the two-handed jam. Well done, Jordan Walsh. So, the Celtics on this 4-game trip, although it is 9 days, it's a long time away from home, but now 1-1 after that heartbreaking loss in Indy. Celtics get back on track against the Heat. They have the Hawks coming up on Saturday, a reunion with
KP.
Kristaps Porzingis. I'm so sad that he's gone. I hope he's okay. Forsberg and I are out for the moment. We'll be back though, just like the Celtics. Celtics post up. Don't go anywhere. I know.
We're turning it over to our Anfernee Simons, Tom Giles.
Ow!
See what I did there?
See what you did there. That was a nice transition. Although I didn't get any props for the Heat. Miami couldn't stand the Heat at the Inferno.
Let's go. Get to the break.
We're not going to even acknowledge that. Celtics get the win, 119-114. Tom Giles. We'll be back.
Oh. A historic night for Anfernee Simons down in South Beach. 39 points. That is the most ever off the bench by a Boston Celtic in a road game. He is just 2 away from tying Todd Day overall, 4 away from Peyton Pritchard. Larry Bird somehow coming off the bench with 47, 1985. But 39 for Anfernee Simons. And let's get to the stop and shop steal of the game. brought to you by Stop and Shop with more than 10,000 items on sale every week. It's easy to make winning plays at Stop and Shop. It was Sam Hauser knocking it away, and then Anfernee Simons seemed to take on 3 guys. I know that you couldn't really see it in that clip, but just going to, there's 2 more defenders. Doesn't matter. Just take on everybody, including Powell Larson right there. Anfernee Simons, 2 of his 39 points in this one. Celtics get the win in Miami in a game where they trailed just about the entire way till the fourth quarter, Eddie. Making the steal on that play was Sam Hauser. He did a pretty good job getting them off to a good start. Scored the first 4 points for the Celtics. Finished with 17 in this one. Did a little bit of everything, including the tip-in. That was a goaltend and then was reversed to a tip-in. But your thoughts on Sam Hauser and the spark that he provided?
He was balling. But before I get to that, how in the hell was Larry Bird coming off the bench in 1985? That's what I want to know. Was he hurt? Was he injured? Was he getting back from injury or anything like that? But there's no way that Larry Bird should have been coming off the bench in 1985.
And it was in April, but they're looking that up right now to maybe even pull the entire thing up, the box score, the whole thing. But yeah, it almost seems unfair as far as that's concerned. As far as Sam Hauser goes, though, he got the start tonight. A guy who had been coming off the bench at times, but has been back in the starting lineup and started right away.
Yeah, it's hard for guys, man. Sometimes it's, when you're in and out of the starting lineup or, your minutes are down. But Sam seems to always continue to work on his craft, work on his game. And the one thing that he doesn't get a favorable whistle on the defensive end, but I thought he played great defense. He was a big part of what we did in that fourth quarter, especially when we were making our comeback and getting up. But 17 points, Sam Hauser. I love to see him knock down shots and do Sam Hauser things. Like Joe said, he's much more than just a shooter. He did have to guard the 5 at times. He did guard guys that were wing players and point guards at times when he got switched off to him. So you got to give credit to Sam. And a lot of people don't recognize that, but if you watch Celtics basketball and you pay attention, you can give credit to it because you see it on a night-to-night basis and you understand exactly what he's able to bring to the table.
And shouldn't be overlooked, that tip-in, too, because at that point it was a 4-point game. So if it's huge. Called a goaltend, Miami's only down 4, and this thing feels a lot closer, and, the Celtics maybe don't pull away for a 5-point win there. But knowing that ball was off the cylinder, off the rim, knowing it was, it was good to go after, him to tip that in and then obviously get the 2 points there. They're able to reverse it and everything else. That play was massive in terms of swinging things.
Yeah, that was huge. Sam, sneaky bouncer, Hauser. You know what I mean? He had sneaky bounce right there. He was able to get up and put that thing in. And of course, at the time, everybody was like, hold up, wait, what it look like? But when they showed the replay, we could tell that he was able to anticipate the ball and not actually goaltend it, and put it back into the rim. He didn't dunk it. It don't matter. He put it in. 2 is 2. A deuce is a deuce. And he got that. And that was big time. Like you said, that was a big time play.
Gave him the 6-point lead and Miami got within 3 after a couple threes, but really that was the separator right there. All right, meanwhile, we're going to send it back to Miami, find out who won tonight's Tommy Award.
All right, Scott, we know the Tommy Award really isn't about scoring, but sometimes a guy does so much, you have no choice.
Yeah, I don't have a choice in this situation because we're not winning this game if it's not for Anfernee Simons. We needed a spark, and we got a lot of guys that stepped up in the fourth quarter, played some defense, made hustle plays. But where would we be without the spark? Getting downhill, in transition, and I love that play. He got headbutt, came by, and responded with a step-back 3. And these are all fourth-quarter buckets, much-needed buckets, giving the Celtics the lead, making Spoelstra call timeouts. And like I said, I'm not sure we win without Anfernee Simons, so he wins the Tommy Award.
He's from Florida, Orlando area. Feels like every time we play in this state, dude goes nuts. And this was his best game as a Celtic.
He was the spark. He was the fire. He was the inferno. He was what took down the Miami Heat tonight with the second Tommy Award of the season. We're going to take a quick break. Back with Eddie. More on this win coming up after the break.